Billy Collins' father wants to inspect his gloves, but the boxer refuses. He yells, argues, and does everything possible just to avoid letting the officials check them. And this is what his opponent looked like after the fight. Doctors later said his eyesight had been permanently damaged and that he would never be able to fight again. This became one of the dirtiest fights in boxing history. But what really happened that night? Billy Collins, a talented young boxer with a record of 14 wins and 11 knockouts. Across from him stood Resto, a tough and experienced fighter. In Resto's corner was his trainer, Panama Lewis, a man infamous for using dirty and dishonest tactics in boxing. Collins was expected to win, but Lewis and Resto had prepared a shocking and illegal plan. From the opening seconds, Collins controlled the center of the ring. He didn't rush recklessly. He moved carefully, studying his opponent and throwing precise punches. His biggest strengths were his incredible technique and speed. He would strike, defend, slip punches, and immediately counter with accurate combinations. Collins was also excellent defensively, slipping and blocking punches while staying balanced. Resto was experienced as well. His boxing fundamentals were solid and his punches carried power. But something strange quickly became obvious. Only 2 rounds had passed, and yet Collins' face already looked badly damaged. Red, swollen, and bruised, as if he had absorbed hundreds of punches. The punches coming from Resto seemed unusually hard, almost like being hit by stone. Suspicion began to grow. Still, the fight continued. Collins showed incredible toughness and endurance. Even while absorbing brutal shots, he kept fighting back with technical combinations. Hooks, uppercuts, straight punches, and sharp 1-2 combinations. By the 5th round, bruises finally began appearing on Resto's face as well. But Collins looked far worse. His face was swollen with large bruises and lumps. His vision began to fade, and he could barely see his opponent. Sensing this, Resto started pressing forward aggressively. He knew Collins was losing energy and visibility. Resto trapped him against the ropes and unleashed heavy combinations. The punches didn't look extremely powerful from the outside, but when they landed, they had terrifying impact. Collins kept fighting with everything he had left. His punches still carried power, but his accuracy began to fade as his vision worsened. Eventually, he could barely recognize his opponent in front of him. When the fight ended, most people believed Resto had won. But after the fight, something shocking was discovered. Billy Collins' father examined Resto's gloves and noticed something was terribly wrong. There was almost no padding inside them. The boxing commission immediately rushed into the locker room and launched an investigation. The truth soon came out. Resto had fought with tampered gloves and his hand wraps had been soaked in plaster, making his punches much harder and more dangerous. Resto was disqualified and the result of the fight was overturned. But the damage had already been done. Billy Collins' eyesight never recovered. He was forced to retire from boxing. The young fighter fell into deep depression and became an alcoholic. 9 months later, while drunk, Billy Collins died in a car crash.